All right, Nick. Here we go. 2 outs. Top of the ninth. And this is, I guess when you don't get any hits, this is how the game goes. It goes pretty fast. But I'm going to openly say on the front end of the show that I have no clue what happened in the last 2 innings because I guess things happen in my life and family, which is all good. Just, you're trying to deal with things and you turn away and somehow 3 innings went by what seemed like in 10 minutes, but maybe it wasn't 10 minutes.
Espinal got a hit.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, wish I could provide some semblance of optimism here. I just don't have anything for you, chat. I guess we hope we see the best comeback in the Red season. Was there any official word with Callihan, or I don't think they're
broken hand.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't.
Broken left forearm was the official.
Forearm, he broke his forearm.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I got reminded. I completely forgot. I tweeted out a video of him last year making an almost identical play up against the wall. Hurt himself. I don't think he actually was out for very long, but almost an identical play at Chattanooga, going up against the wall, making a catch and getting hurt and hurting his hand.
I'm glad to see Lux is putting together a professional at bat here. Super chat from Fergie Fowler saying, "What family things were you doing?"
She hangs you right out to dry. I love it. You were on what was it on Thursday? The rain game. She came in the chat and said Trace isn't doing anything.
Yeah, she obviously finds that funny. I understand.
I found it.
That's a great at bat.
I'm sorry.
No, I think it's funny. Like I'm understanding it. I can take a step back from kind of my own worldly view and understand why that's funny. I'm not naive. Well, all we really need now is a hit by pitch, a bloop, and a blast.
That's it.
The good news is we got our first baseman up.
Stop.
What? I'm just speaking facts. I'm just speaking facts, man. You're ahead of me.
It's over.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
over. Let's just get this over with.
All right, folks. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do everybody a favor. I'll cut off. We'll call it 20 seconds. We'll cut off 20 seconds of the opener, but you gotta watch it. Sorry.
In the dirt, it's a wild pitch. Here comes Walker. The Reds win the pennant.
Larkins won the game. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. Welcome Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again.
Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive, hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the wall, Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Win! Line to the right field. Genius, the first run ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Does it have a chance? The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
All right, Nick. There's only so many shows you can do in a row where you try to find the optimism or you try to find the silver lining in what happened in a baseball game, and I'm tempted to say that we've kind of run our course with this offense and trying to find some semblance of justification for the lack of it. But I guess we'll do it again. And it's nights like tonight. I want to remind everybody when they say, you know, how awesome, and it is awesome, our lives are and jobs are of covering sports on a daily basis. This is the low. This is the low point of covering a franchise and/or team from time to time that will let you down. But I'm telling you right now, I am going to do my best to shed an optimistic viewpoint of this. I know people think that, Toxic Trace is going to come in here, rant, yell, scream about this offense. But as I've said before, you know, when you have a beaten down, wounded dog, you don't need to yell at it anymore. Sometimes you need to kind of just give it some encouraging words and give it a bath and try to hopefully that tomorrow will be a better day. Nick, 4-0. Reds barely get a hit. What do you got to say, I guess?
Let's do a show.
All right. Box score recap presented by Nick Kirby. And that's basically, you know what? That pretty much is it, though. I know that isn't what that's not what you wanted it to be. But if we're being honest, sometimes it's just the way the world, it presents things that are actually true. I think that pretty much should have been kept the same. But go ahead. I'm sure you worked hard on that.
All right, Reds taking on the Braves. First to 4 at Atlanta. Brady Singer against AJ Smith-Shawver. Shawver, I believe, making his 11th career big league start. Matt McClain and Gavin Lux walked in the top of the first, but Spencer Steer struck out on 3 pitches to end the inning. Brady Singer retired 7 of the first 8 Braves hitters, but then gave up 3 straight hits to put the Braves up 2-0 in the third. Then with 2 outs, Matt Olson hit a drive near the left field corner. Reds left fielder Tyler Callihan attempted a catch, but his momentum caused him to crash into the wall. The ball came out. Replay showed his arm bending very brutally. Olson circled the bases for an inside-the-park home run. The Reds challenged the no-catch call, but it was upheld, resulting in a 2-run homer for Olson, 4-0 Atlanta, officially a broken left forearm for Tyler Callihan. Reds were no hit going into the 8th inning. Santiago Espinal finally broke it up, but that would be the only hit of the day for the Reds. Scott Barlow and Luis May, 2 scoreless innings thrown in there as well. Reds fall 4-0. Reds now 18-18 on the season.
You know, I knew Nick was going to give me something on the deep drive of the day. And you know what? Matt McClain, kudos to him. He hit a ball 98 miles an hour, and you know what he got for it? An out. So kudos to him. Matt McClain, hotter than hot. Red hot. DSC's hot because they're a leader in renewable commodities, not just commodities, renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. All right, here we go. Listen, there's not a lot to talk about tonight. Either this offense is the most streaky offense of all time. This offense at some point is going to get hot and propel this team to a postseason type of run, or at least entertain the idea of making the postseason towards the end of the year, being in the playoff hunt. Or they suck. On nights like tonight, to be honest, it's easy to pick the latter. It's easy. I mean, there's no doubt you can sit here and think, wow, you know, our first baseman and our DH tonight have 4 home runs combined. Now, maybe that's not fair. Maybe you're saying, Trace, you're cherry picking stats, and that's somewhat true, yes. But I started thinking today as we were working, and I was having a lovely conversation with Sean Spurlock, and you know, it was like, Nick, who's going to hit 30 home runs on this team? That's a question.
Oh, well, I bet Christian Encarnacion Strand on a sports book, so I guess that's probably not going to happen. Might not play 30 games.
Does anyone do it?
Probably not. He's not shown a lot of power early this season. Yeah, probably. Honestly, the question is, will someone hit maybe 25?
25 home runs in Great American Ballpark, too. That's the crazy thing, too, is we're not even talking about WRC+, which would actually factor in the ballpark. We're talking about just straight-up home runs in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I hate to say this, but the answer might be 0. It might be 0, which seems unfathomable. It seems unfathomable. I don't know. I mean, but you know what? I said on a night like tonight, there's times where you gotta kind of take a deep breath. Reds are 500. Is there a way to split the series? Can we split the series, Nick? That's obviously easier said than done when you lose the first one, but I think it's really from here the only remedy that exists. I could sit here and we could do this whole song and dance chat about what the Reds need to do or what they should do, and there's just too many situations on this team where you don't have a direct answer, and there's not an easy answer to be made. And I know many of you are saying, like, dip your toe down into the minor league system to go get somebody. You're going to bring up Rhys Hines. You're going to bring up Will Benson. I'm not suggesting that they can't provide some semblance of kind of decent play from time to time. But do we think that those are the ones? Like, is that the missing piece? Is that what's going to change the direction of this team offensively for the remainder of the year? I have a hard time believing that. As I said before, I don't put a lot of stock in the hitting coach, Nick. I don't. But we have gotten into a point this season now where it just seems crazy how many times you can get shut out in the first how many ever games we're at now. I don't know what we're at, 40 some odd games, 50 games. I'd like to continue to say, Nick, that the pitching staff can keep us in the game. And I'd like to think that I could say that, you know what, it's going to work out more times than not. But I'd be lying if I said that I didn't think that this offense was going to be able to keep up. And they just haven't proved the ability to grind out at bats when things aren't going right, find ways to get on base, and then get the big hit, right? Or hit the ball over the wall with runners on base. Like, last thing I'm going to say, Nick, if you're going to be bad offensively, where you just can't string together hit after hit after hit and pass the baton, then we're going to have to find some guys that can hit the ball over the fence and we can get lucky every so often and hit a 3-run home run. And I don't know if that exists. That's the part that's maybe the most frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, there's some hitters that they're just in this lineup that I don't know. I think there's two guys in the lineup that started off so bad, but then they got hot for a couple weeks, and I don't know. Steer's been pretty hot. I look back at the numbers, like he's been pretty good, but sub 600 OPS, guy that can only play first base. Jake Fraley sub 700 OPS as a platoon right fielder. I mean, it's just not good enough for guys that have played. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. I'd like to see some of these guys at AAA. I'd like to see them get a shot. Would have liked to see Tyler Callihan get a shot. That's really unfortunate. Talk about him in a second, but I don't know. Today though, Trace, I don't know. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it.
No. I mean,
they had 10 hard hit balls today.
Thank you. That's fine. I mean, listen, we need something.
Nick,
we need something. If there was any day of the days of all days, Nick Kirby has to rain upon this chat and me right now. I am so down in the dumps on this team that I don't even want to watch them tomorrow. I don't even want to turn the television on because I've been beaten so many damn times by this franchise. I don't want to walk through the door anymore and get hit right in the face. It seems like I do it time and time again. And you know what? The whole notion of what are you going to do? I'm not nothing. I'm going to watch tomorrow, and I'm going to pray to God that we're better. And you know what? I'm going to say, Nick, you say whatever you want. If people are going to make fun of you for being optimistic, that's fine. I don't care. This is the time. This is your moment. I need, and the chat needs, some semblance of optimism. So if you got anything to give me some hope, I will take it. 10 hard hit balls, at least you're giving me something.
10 hard hit balls and 4 walks against Smith-Shawver. So, I mean, incredible line for him. It looks incredible. I don't think he does that same recipe over and over again. It's going to lead to a whole lot of success. Now, they had 1 hard hit ball on Sunday against Mackenzie Gore. Like, they were ugly at bats. And there was some really bad at bats in this game mixed in, like the Spencer Steer 3-pitch strikeout, the Jake Fraley 1-0 hack, lazy out with 2 runners on base. So there was some really ugly at bats mixed in, but you just go back to the second inning. What was it? The second inning, Stevenson hits a ball 98 miles an hour. Fraley hit a ball 101 miles per hour. Espinal hits a ball 96 miles per hour. 1, 2, 3. I mean, like, they were all hard hit balls. Like, what are you gonna do?
It is a stupid game at times. I will openly admit, when you play baseball, you don't go up there looking to hit the ball in an exact perfect spot where they're not standing. Can you go up there with an approach to try to hit a ball backside? Yes. Can you go up there and say, you know what, I'm going to try to pull this ball to get runners over? Of course you can do those things. Are you thinking, hey, I want to try to find something elevated and lift it? Yes. But really the main goal while you're up there is to hit the ball hard, to put the barrel of the bat on the baseball, hit it hard, because the truth of the matter is that's the only real thing that you can do. The issue on nights like tonight, Nick, that you were hesitant to get to with the 10 hard hit balls is because you reach a certain point in a line in the sand with a fan base that has seen the lack of offensive production far too long. And it's not just this year. We're talking, at this point, decades. And they don't want to hear about the underlying metrics that would give you some semblance of hope that this could turn around. The real issue that this team has ran into is their inability to be consistent. They're capable of putting up what you would say by a month's in or at the midway point in the season, their numbers are going to look from a runs perspective more than reasonable. You're going to be able to say, like, well, they've scored this many runs, they've done this much production, look at these stats. The issue is that those stats come in some unbelievably lopsided games. And the whole run differential thing that we kind of joke about from time to time on this show, it's good in theory. The issue that I have with it is that, you know, you win or lose a game by one run or more, and really the more after the one doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. They don't keep track of that in the standings. They don't make sure that, yes, you could say, well, if you win a bunch of games by more than just one run, then you're just a better team. Yes. But if you win one game 24-2, and it lopsides that, you know, it just makes that whole metric kind of thrown out the window for me. And this offense has blown opportunities so many times this year already to win baseball games that were very winnable because they can't find a way after the third or fourth inning when they're struggling or when they can't get guys on. They can't find a way to scrape across a couple runs. You know, and I even if I'm not even saying it needs to be small ball, like either hit the ball over the fence, okay, or find a way to get on base, hit and run, and just scrape one across every time and again. Getting shut out this many times, I don't know what's most damning about it. Whether we have bad players, we have a bad hitting coach, we have a bad approach, which falls on the hitting coach a little bit, or if we're unlucky. And it's hard to take the latter one, isn't it? It's hard to say, Nick, we're just unlucky. Well, I guess we'll find out. I mean, that's the thing. The thing about MLB season that's the most damning about it, if you're not a great team, is that you're going to get exposed at some point. You can kind of make it look like you're a decent team, and the Pirates have done that in the past, as we well know. I think the Cardinals at times did that last year at a certain point in the season. This is put up or shut up time for this Reds baseball team relatively in the next, we'll call it 30 days, to figure out if they're going to stick or not. You're 3 games over 500. You're coming into a homestand, Nick, with 2 pretty much teams that aren't going to make the postseason, and it's not even going to be close. The Nationals and the Cardinals at home, 3 games above 500. And now you find yourself, after that homestand, 1 game in Atlanta at 500. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And I think that that's the only thing that I can say at this point about the whole situation that is the offense. So, anything left to add, whether optimistic and or pessimistic, before we move on?
Nope.
All right. We all seen the play. I also see some supers here. We'll get to those in just a minute. This is maybe the most disgusting thing about sports, is that it's just not always fair. Callihan clearly gets an opportunity to get into the big leagues. He's been here for, basically less than a week or whatever it's been at this point, and he's getting an opportunity to play a little bit, and he plays as hard as he can. He dives down the left field line, and it's a relatively gross situation. Turns out he breaks his forearm, and for all intents and purposes, I don't know whether we see him back here on the big league club again. I don't mean that too overly negative, Nick, but you just never know with how this sport goes, whether you get another chance and whether you can stick again, whether you even or if whether you come back and you're the same player again. We'll probably talk about that with another player here maybe later in the show, but I would just say it's sickening, it's sad, and it sucks. And I feel for Callihan, because you work your whole life to get to a certain spot. You're starting to kind of be able to smell the roses. You're able to kind of feel like you belong a little bit. The first couple games, he's just nervous, and he can't, let's be honest. We're all, you don't even remember half the time when you're that nervous what happened. It felt like maybe he was starting to settle in, and now he's gone. So not much to add outside of that, Nick, besides yourself.
Yeah, pretty brutal. Callihan's a guy that I talked a lot about last year when we did the Reds MILB reports every night. Just I really liked him. He has a good approach at the plate, draws a lot of walks, has some power, just a solid player that has overcome a lot of injuries in the minor leagues too. I mean, that's been the only thing. If it wasn't for the amount of injuries that he suffered in the minor leagues, he would have probably been up on the big league roster sooner. So just brutal for him's third career big league game, only got 6 plate appearances. You're right. I mean, he may never get another chance. I mean, that's the sad reality of the situation. And the thing that sucks for the Reds too is I think he could have helped this team this year. I don't think he would have saved this roster or anything crazy like that, but I think he could have been a really good contributor for this team. As a left-handed bat this team needs. I mean, you go out and you get one hit against AJ Smith-Shawver, a right-handed pitcher. You need some good left-handed bats, and Callihan was that, and it sucks. Just a brutal situation. What did you think about the ruling on the field?
I need to know what the rule is. I've always been told by umpires it's at their discretion of whether or not they feel as if the catch was secured, and you essentially could drop the ball at any moment. It's a discretionary call. That's what I've always been told. I mean, he caught the ball. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, he caught the ball. Did he drop the ball? Yeah, he dropped the ball after he realized his forearm was broken, and he started kind of squealing, and the ball fell out. But the idea that he didn't have control of the ball, or it was bobbling before he, intentionally kind of started to move because he realized he was hurt. Like he caught the ball, and no one's going to convince me that he didn't catch it. I guess you can convince me, or you can tell me that the rule is something else that I don't know it to be. Like maybe you can say, hey, Trace, they have to secure the ball, I guess until through the entirety of the action, to where once he stops moving, if he still has it, then he has it. That doesn't make sense to me, because what about a running catch? Do they have to stop running and before it does bring up, I guess, an old memory that I have when I actually asked an umpire that's literally that same question in a college game, and he told me the ruling, and I said, so you mean to tell me that you could say that someone didn't catch the ball after they ran 5 steps and then dropped it? And he said, yeah, we could. And I'm not kidding you. This last inning, the 2 outs on the scoreboard already. Guy pops one up to me. I catch it. I'm a shortstop. I'm starting to run back into the dugout, and I literally drop it on purpose in front of the umpire, and we both laughed about it. So that's why I kind of know this rule, but I guess maybe I don't know it, because I thought he caught the ball, Nick.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what the rule is. It's a catch. Like, come on. I'd like for those umpires in New York to go tell Tyler Callihan to his face that wasn't a catch. If the guy broke his arm. Garbage, trash, Atlanta sucks, the whole city sucks. It pissed me off. Garbage. Like,
yeah,
on.
I mean, I get
at
it.
some point, what are we doing? What are we doing watching this stupid game where you're saying that's not a catch? I don't care what the rule is. It's garbage. It's terrible. It's disgusting.
He caught the ball. I mean, it's pretty black and white whether he caught the ball or didn't. Now
we have the double play transfer, right, for a half of a split 10th of a second, but that's not a catch. Like, come on, I don't care what the rule is. You can show me everything you want to on what the rule is. It's stupid. It's garbage. It's terrible. We don't watch baseball to see that not be a catch. Come on. Don't care what the rule is. Move along.
It's a good point. When you're trying to turn double play and the ball goes in the guy's glove for what is basically a half a second, and then it pops out because they're supposedly transferring the ball. I mean, and that's not a catch, then I don't know what a catch is, I guess. I guess we're back to Des Bryant, circa whatever year that was, when nobody knew what a catch was then, and still don't from time to time. But I don't know. I mean, does it make a difference in the game? No, probably not. But does it suck that the guy broke his forearm and also didn't get credit for making an amazing play? Yeah, it does. Now, I guess I'd have to be, as I said before, I have to be explained exactly what a catch is. Next time I see an umpire, I guess I'll ask him what they think about that. Be nice if we could figure out a way to get I don't know. Maybe we can do this. I don't know if they would allow umpires to have media availability, but can we get guys can we get a big league umpire on a show one time? Like I just curious, like show them a couple of these plays and be like, walk me through what you see here and how this isn't a catch. Guy slides, he catches the ball, he crashes into the wall. He still has the ball in his glove, Nick. And then once he starts to scramble around because he broke his forearm, the ball pops out of his glove. Like, I'm with you. It's, I don't know. It's stupid. So,
I gotta be honest. I didn't like that Tito just had no reaction to it at all.
You know, Tito doesn't like getting
I wanted
thrown out
him
of
to get
games.
Fired up there.
Yeah, David Bell would have been fired up. And you know what's
He
funny
would
is
have been in jail in Atlanta right now.
You get tossed if you argue a review at all. Like I'm pretty sure that's like a very hard line in the sand for those guys. You start arguing a replay, I think they throw you out immediately. So I think Tito just didn't want to get thrown out in the game when it was relatively early like that. I'm not saying I disagree with what with the fact that he shouldn't have gotten thrown out, but I think that Tito doesn't want to get thrown out of games because I think he wants to be there to make decisions. Whether you like that or you don't, I think that's genuinely why he did what he did. He was asking questions on what the rule was, I'm sure. Maybe as he said before, maybe the umpire gave him a good sound explanation and he felt good about it. I don't know. Yeah.
I think 9 out of 10 times I completely fine. Like, yeah, just don't get thrown out of the game. But I don't know. That felt like a spot where he kind of would have liked to have.
I know. I guess it ultimately comes down to, you're right. Like, it ultimately comes down to whether or not you think those things matter. Like, do you think a coach or a manager getting thrown out of a game fires his team up and starts to change some things? I'm not going to say it doesn't matter at all, but I also would openly admit that I think I could understand the rational reason of not wanting to get thrown out into the game that early when you're the manager and you want to kind of be there and you don't want to let your team down per se. But unless Tito Francona is going to go grab a bat and take some batting practice down in the cages and come and be a part of the lineup, I'm not sure if he makes a difference tonight anyways. So maybe he should have gotten thrown out. I don't know. All right. Speaking of getting thrown out, you don't want to get thrown out when you try to buy tickets next time you get to the gate.
Ooh.
You like that?
Big league segue.
You need to download the Game Time app. It's the official ticketing partner of Chatterbox Reds. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account. Use the promo code CBOX. That's CBOX. You can get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Use this app quite frequently and plan to use it again here relatively soon. I'm going to try to go down to the ball yard here on a nice, beautiful summer day if we can ever get one of those now in Cincinnati. It seems like it's rained for the last week and a half, but good times are ahead. If you're looking to go down to the ballpark, check out the Game Time app. Two clicks and you can get in and get out. Check the all-in pricing. And the best part, you can wait till the very last minute, a la Game Time, to get your best deals on tickets. 988, text and or call, day or night. It's okay to not be okay. If you're in a situation where you ever need help or a friend needs help, make sure that you always understand that the hotline is available at 988, text and or call, day or night. Mantherapy.org, obviously, as well, for those that might need it. Super chats, here we go. I seen them piling up, baby. I seen them piling up. Let's get to them. Andrew Scobie says, hoping that Callihan makes a quick and speedy recovery. So unlucky, man. It is unlucky. It was bad. Bad luck, man. You're trying to make a play down the line. It just so happens at that ballpark that the wall's really close to the line, as is in a lot of other parks. So I'm not saying it's any different than some others, but it's just an unfortunate situation. It stinks. Simple as that. Dunny17 says, I have no hope in this team. The offense is awful. Nights like tonight where it's hard to argue. I mean, it's hard to argue. They find a way to win tomorrow, though, where we're all going to be right back in here feeling great. So, that's the stupid thing about this whole 162 thing. But this offense needs to figure it out. I'm not going to sit here and act like they don't. Leitch1277 says, Trace, I'm here, buddy. Come on. Bring it in. Hugs. Yeah. I need hugs, man. I've been fighting this fight for a long time, and so have many of you, Nick included. All we're really asking for is a really fun baseball team to watch that can make the postseason and make some noise. And it's going to happen, I think it's going to happen. I keep saying it's going to happen. I've talked a lot of things into fruition in my life. I've really visualized things. I've manifested things a lot of times in my life. I've really just talked it into existence. I believe in that. This is the one damn thing I can't figure out. I got to be honest. I just can't figure out how we get this done. Oh, God love us. Gadzuk says, no internal moves can fix the Reds outfield. That's just a fact. Benson and Hines are just rearranged deck chairs on a sinking ship. Nick Krall's fault. Nick Krall's made some good moves. He's also hamstrung to a certain extent, guys. He can only spend so much money. He went out and got Lux, who's been one of the best hitters in this lineup. He went out and got Austin Hayes, who, fair enough, he's not been healthy at all, and he hasn't been healthy much of his career to a certain extent. But he's been great. So those are two good additions this offseason. I know that they spent some money on Martinez, and that's probably a little bit of malpractice. Not saying he's not worth it. Just saying maybe they could have tried to bundle that money and went out and got another outfielder. But the problem is that some of these guys that are younger that need to play better haven't played better either. So I don't know. I really don't want to give too much of the blame on one person, especially when he doesn't have a big budget. So that's how I feel about it. Nick, you want to add anything to that?
I would love to see your plan of how you would have fixed this offense with the budget that the Reds had this offseason better than the moves that the Reds made.
All right. Putrid Talent says prayers for Tyler. Having a teammate injured like that can't make it easy to play after. I'm giving them that excuse tonight, but they better show up for the sake of the rest of the series. For his sake, the rest of the series. It's a fair point. It definitely was a shaken up moment. You could tell that the Reds, some of the Reds players were a little taken back by it because it was a nasty injury. I don't usually get all that upset, like not being able to watch a replay, right? But as soon as Sadak said, "Hey, we're going to show the replay again," I literally just turned away. I'm like, I don't need to see that again. It was gross, and I didn't watch it again. So, just the idea that you had to kind of witness that in real time and be a part of all of it. I give him a little bit of credit for that super chat because that might be a little bit of it. But the problem is they've done this before with nobody getting hurt. So who knows? Big Red Machine. You know what I say. I love the Big Red Machine. Hitting coach. Ellie has changed bats twice from torpedo to regular in the past 10 days. Tonight, regular bat. Matty, torpedo as well, then changed. I don't know. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out what feels the best. They're not too sure. I got to tell you, there's one thing that you can always tell about a guy who can't putt. They change their putter all the time. I'd say that's pretty much symptomatic of exactly how some of these guys feel at the plate. And you changing your bat a bunch right now, and you're trying to figure out what bat works the best, man, you're lost mentally. You're lost mentally. Jay Tenzel says, how many times have you woke up and been excited? The sun came out. Me! Mother's Day is on Sunday. So get your Capri Suns ready, boys, because I'll be absolutely dunking all over my stepmom's souls. I need to read these supers before I go too far sometimes. I had no idea where that last sentence was going. No idea. Still don't even know totally what that means, but thank you, Jay Tinsel, for the super chat. Mother's Day is coming Sunday. So good shout out to a lot of men in this very men-heavy audience that we do have. In fact, it probably should have some advertisers that want to just advertise for Mother's Day, if we're being honest. We should be running Mother's Day ads all week this week. Anyways.
My wife already bought her own gift, so
that's good. Okay. That's the best way to do it. Brady Singer pitched in this game. Barlow came in. Luis May came in. I got nothing, Dick. I don't know what to say, man. I'll also tell you I missed like 2 innings of this game that I just don't even know what happened. I'm guessing Luis May came in and threw the ball. Hopefully, he obviously threw the ball relatively well. Singer gave up 4 runs, and then it was a bunch of zeros after that.
Yeah, I think Singer was okay. I think there was a lot of, Singer actually pitched really well because that play shouldn't have happened. That was a pretty hard hit ball down the line. He gave up a lot of hard hit contact tonight. So, he was okay. He wasn't, I don't think he was great. I'm not going to go overboard there. Scott Barlow, 7 straight scoreless appearances for him. So that's good to see. He really struggled early in the year. He's been a pretty solid. Luis May threw a perfect inning with 2 strikeouts. Only ball put in play was hit 65 miles an hour. So Luis May, 2 really good performances from him so far. Last, I think, 4 in the minor leagues before he got called up. That's, I think, 5 or 6 with straight appearances for him without allowing a walk. So just something to monitor. I think he'll be a roller coaster a little bit, but right now he's throwing the ball well. He's throwing strikes and definitely has a chance to be a big weapon for this team.
Yeah. I agree. I just trying to read through kind of where our fan base is at right now, and it's not in a good place. I got to be honest, it's not in a great place. I probably need to focus, not worry about where the fan base is right now, because ultimately we can't change it. It's over. Got to wake up tomorrow. They got to find a way to play better baseball and win. And really, better baseball consists of just a team that needs to find a way to score. Not even asking for a lot. Score 4 or 5 runs. A couple times a series. I'm not saying they got to go out there and be world beaters. Just need to pick our spots. And I'll openly say, here's the thing, Nick. If they go out to the next two games, and you've said this before, they score 6 runs and 6 runs again, maybe it's better we just get shut out and then we lose because you can't win if you don't score. And then the next 2 days you figure out a way to score, 6 runs instead of scoring 2 runs every single game. Maybe that's the plan. Obviously, a little bit of sarcasm there, but
any roster moves that you would make if you are you ready to give up on Blake Dunn? I know they see a lot of that in the chat. I wouldn't mind swapping Blake Dunn out for giving Rhys Hines a shot in that role.
Well, I would also say this. I'll add on the fact that Tyler Callihan was up here, right? I mean, Will Benson. I don't mind seeing Will Benson again. Will Benson. Okay. The same blind spot that many people have about Spencer Steer, I'll openly say I might have that for Will Benson. I've seen a guy for a considerable amount of time be one of the best players in Major League Baseball at his position. Was it a fluke? Maybe. In fact, I would say if it's a percentage thing, whether it was a fluke, it's probably. But I'd like to see it again. I'd like to test it again. And I know people are going to say, well, they did it last year, Trace. Why do you want to see that again? Because the other options that I'm presented, I don't think that there's a chance in hell they're going to be one of the best players in Major League Baseball at their position. So give me that one guy that actually did it for a little bit of time, and let's see if he can do it again. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm nothing against Callihan. I'm not suggesting for a single second that he couldn't have been a better replacement than Will Benson, but they're similar in nature from a lineup perspective. So give me him. Give me Will Benson. You can have Rhys Hines too, but I just think Will Benson has a better upside than Rhys Hines, and I could be wrong on that too. But I would just openly admit that I want to see Will Benson again. Not just one time.
Both.
Not just one time. You fly him halfway across the country. He gets 4 at-bats. Yeah, he struggles. He has 4 strikeouts, and then all of a sudden everybody acts like he's a horrible player again. And he might be. But I'm not going to sit here and act like just because he struck out 4 times in a game, flying all the way out to the West Coast in one day, turning around and having to play a game in the big leagues, probably feeling a ton of pressure because he knows that if he doesn't play well, he's going to get sent right back down. That's not a very good recipe for success. So maybe both, yeah. I mean, I'm not in love with it. There's not really anyone I'm in love with outside of a couple players, Nick. So whatever, What do they always say about the... Go ahead.
Platoon them both in left field.
Yeah, that's fine.
Give them a shot. Maybe one of them can get hot. I mean, clearly both of them have the capability of going on a run of hitting 5 home runs in
Yep.
20-game stretch or something like that. See if one of them
Right.
can put him in a platoon role.
Yeah,
I'm all
Blake
for
Dunn
it.
doesn't. Blake Dunn doesn't do anything for us that we need right now. Like
Other than get hit by pitches.
Yeah, well, he gets on base. I mean, we actually have guys that can get on base, but we can't have. Nobody can drive anybody in. Nobody can hit the ball over the fence. So it's like, I guess, give me a couple of those guys that might accidentally do that. I know they might strike out 3 times a game, but they might accidentally run into a ball with 2 runners on and hit a 3-run home run, and that might be more production in one swing than we've had in 3 games. The thing that sucks is there's not a good answer. There's not an easy answer.
The funny thing about Hines is Hines is playing significantly better at AAA right now than he played at any point last year when he got called up and went on that crazy run. Like, he's actually, like, last year he just got called up because he was the dude on the 40-man roster and the Reds didn't have any options. He's actually playing well enough to at least justify a call-up. So I'm a lot more pro Rhys Hines now than I am last year because he is playing well. Now, he's got a lot of swing and miss, as does Benson, but again, what do you give it? What are you losing?
Nothing. You're not losing anything, but you're probably not gaining anything either. That's the problem. I don't know whether or not you do or you don't, but you know what? You're right, Nick. Like, what the hell's the problem? What are you missing? You're not going to miss a whole lot. Like, if Blake Dunn gets sent down, I mean, with all due respect to Blake Dunn, do I think Blake Dunn fits somewhere on a good team's roster? I think that he could. Like, I think he could be one of the last men on the roster. But for this team, what are you missing? I mean, you're not missing a whole lot. You're just not. I don't know. Like, we're in a tough spot. Reds are in a tough spot. If Ellie and Matt McClain, let's just specifically say Matt McClain, if he can't start playing better, this team's in a world of hurt. A world of hurt. And I also openly say, like, Spencer Steer, I'm trying. I mean, our main man here, Sean Connor, in the chat, he's been fighting the fight for Spencer Steer for so long. I say one bad thing about him, I'm probably going to get emails. I'll be honest. What do you want me to get excited about when I watch him? He was good 2 years ago, so he might be good again. Well, that's fine. We could do that game. Why not? Shit, let's call back up Will Myers at some point. Like, let's see if Will Myers can still play a little bit. Honestly, you guys want to be funny? I can play this game. Let's call up Nick. Like, let's see if we can get with the Dodgers and trade for Nick Senzel. Didn't he get picked up by the Dodgers? I know he was in the Mexican League.
I think he's in AAA.
Well, but I don't care. He probably belongs on our team. If you're in AAA for LA, you're probably a big leaguer in Cincinnati. Just saying. Not trying to be rude, but I'm just being honest with Spencer Steer, guys. Like, come on. This guy's playing first base. He's playing first base, and he's offering nothing at the plate that I could get excited about. And what are you going to tell me? He's slugging 700? Wow. Holy smokes. Our first baseman slugging 700. And I'm not even trying to, like, get upset about our players. Like, maybe they're just not good enough. Like, why get mad at guys that aren't good enough? I don't know. But, like, I'm so sick and tired of acting like we can't touch some of these players. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the answer is either, though, to be fair. You can't really sit here and bring up complaints, right? You can't go to the board meeting with a bunch of complaints and not have any solutions. And my solutions right now aren't great. But I guess it would start with Rhys Hines. It would start with Will Benson platooning. And I guess it would say, hey, Marte, you can play first base, or you can DH and put Tyler Stevenson at first base, and I'm ready to roll and see what happens. But I guess we're going to keep trotting out Spencer Steer. And this is my final gasp at trying to get Spencer Steer going. Every time I do something like this on a guy, he goes out and hit 2 home runs the next day. I hope that he does.
Lefty tomorrow.
I hope that he does.
It is Chris Sale, but it is a lefty tomorrow.
All right. Top 5 Reds / Braves, Nick. What do you have here?
This is from our guy, Michael Hart. sent me an idea today. After watching that game, I was like, God, I just do not want to do this tonight. But you know what? I think maybe we need to do it tonight.
Okay.
So without further ado, Trace, here's my list of top 5 Reds that also played for the. Well, I gotta start this over. I screwed it up.
Yeah, please.
Here's my list of the top 5 Reds and Braves players that played for both teams in my lifetime.
Okay.
Number 5, Raisel Iglesias.
Okay.
Number 4, Ron Gant.
Yep.
Number 3, Aaron Harang. Number 2, Reggie Sanders. And number 1, of course, Brandon Phillips. We do have some notables, though. I had a whole list of notables here just to bring up some blasts from the past.
Who's the outfielder?
Best
player. Why can't I think of the outfielder?
The best player. Okay, so the best player to, I think, play for both teams in my lifetime, I didn't include because he didn't have his best part of his career with either team. Let me see if you can guess it. I'm going to read through the rest of them. He played second base. Played for both teams. Had an incredible run with another team. I'll give you another hint later. I'll let you think about it. I'll read through the rest of some of the other notables. Steve Avery, Edgar Renteria, Adam Duvall, Billy Hamilton, Drew Stubbs, Deion Sanders, David Ross, Michael Tucker, Mike Remlinger, Kent Merker, Alex Wood, Mike Minor, Mark Wohlers, Elmer DeSenz, Norm Charlton, Lucas Sims, and Nick Massett. All right. You need another hint?
I got a question. Did Heisey play for the Braves?
I think he played for the Nats.
Who's the outfielder that went to the Braves and played relatively well? Who's there for
Duvall? Adam Duvall.
Yeah, Adam Duvall. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was he not on the top 5?
He was in the top 5. He probably would have been top 10. He would have been close. Okay, so the best player, in my opinion, in my lifetime that played for both the Reds and the Braves, but didn't have the best part of his career, ended up going to the American League West, second baseman. He's got a famous brother in baseball.
Brett Boone?
Yeah, there you go.
Really?
That I think that's the best player. It definitely had the best couple seasons of any player.
He was a decent player for the Reds, yeah.
He was like a 3-win player or something.
That's back when they weren't even using analytics, right? It was just straight up like.
I mean, he had monster years for the Mariners. I mean, he wasn't
using the juice, was he?
30. I mean, my guy went from 12 home runs, 7 home runs in Cincinnati to 37, 34, 35. I mean, hey, maybe he just grew into his body.
Who was their hitting coach? I'm curious. So can we figure out who that is? Can we
Connie Eckler.
Can we get him back into the game? Is there a way that old Tito could call up an old buddy? I don't know. That's good. If you think I have a chance of doing that, you know damn well that there's no chance that that's going to happen. Adam Duvall, by the way, played pretty well for the Braves.
I liked Adam Duvall a lot. I liked him a lot. Yeah.
You know who I was right on back in the day that I would have been getting crushed for keep sticking up for was Edwin Encarnacion. I always believed in Edwin Encarnacion. Never lost faith. And it seemed like the whole fan base turned on him because he wasn't very good defensively, and he was a streaky hitter. And then all of a sudden he goes somewhere else, and sure enough, pretty good player.
Ultimate what if with the Reds, because obviously Scott Rowland was a massive part of what got him finally over the top to the playoffs in 2010. But there's no question, if you would have had Edwin Encarnacion playing on that 2012-2013 team hitting 40 home runs, the ceiling of that team goes up quite a bit. So,
right,
one of the ultimate what ifs.
Who knows? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. All right, well, it's something I've been waiting for all day long. I went to bed last night thinking, man, tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day. It is Shang and Lin season, baby. Sign me up.
Oh! Play.
Oh!
Heartbreak.
Oh!
Heartbreak.
God. Oh!
How do we go on? I don't know. I don't know.
Man. Hey, thanks for lifting our spirits tonight, Nick. Wait, did anybody get a hit down there? My gosh, are these the only notable players they have? At this point, nobody knows who the hell these guys are anyway. Could you at least give it a guy on the rundown here that did something?
Yeah, we got a tough roster right now. Arnaldo Lantigua made his Reds debut. This was the prospect the Reds got back for sending the Dodgers international cap space so they could get Sasaki 0-for-3 in his Reds debut. Certainly a player to watch, though. Yekel Soriano, he struggled. Sheng Lin did not play. Last report I saw on our hero, Sheng Lin, was that he's going to DH and pitch. So maybe he's pitching tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Certainly, I'll keep you updated. Rest of the Reds minor leagues are in action tomorrow. Chase Petty will be back on the mound for Louisville. I'm interested to see how he kind of returns to Louisville. Hopefully he has a good start. Nestor Laurent also starting for Dayton tomorrow.
Good to hear about Sheng Lin, though. I mean, I'm glad to see that he at least has a headshot now on the rundown.
He has a headshot. Very few players in the ACL do. I mean, he's like a third year there, so I guess year 3 you get a headshot.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you've been here for a while. Let's see, you got some
practically
tenure.
run good
tenure.
year. He's got the card key.
Speaking of tenure here, I would give everybody a joke. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but I was fortunate enough to play for. He was my head coach in summer baseball. He played in the big leagues, and he had a lot of good stories. And he told me a story about Ricky Henderson, not really the sharpest tool in the shed is what we would say. But Ricky Henderson, I guess, was getting on the bus one time. And, there weren't any seats open. And I think there was some seats maybe towards the back or whatever. But one of the guys popped up and said, "Nah, Ricky, you can sit here. You can sit here, man. You got some tenure." He said, "Tenure? Tenure my ass. I've been in this league for 14 years." Anyway, funny little thing about a little bit of Ricky Henderson love there as we wind down the show. All right, up next, a little bit of who, what, when, where, and why. The why question we'll leave out because sometimes I'm not sure why.
Got to be honest, Trace, I do not love seeing the reigning NL Cy Young winner, pitching Triple Crown Gold Glove winner coming in with a 4.84 ERA. Just doesn't sit well with me. Chris Sale got off to a tough start, 6.17 ERA over his first 5 starts, but the last 2, much better, 2.25 ERA. The Reds have only faced Sale twice in his entire career, which is kind of surprising. Last year, Sale made his final start of the season against the Reds of his Cy Young season. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts at GABP. And then the Reds saw him in 2023 with the Red Sox, but he actually only went 3 2/3 innings, got hurt in that game. Blake Dunn probably not going down because he had a home run against Chris Sale last year, his first career home run. One of his 2 career home runs are against Chris Sale. Steers 1 for 4 with a double. Stevenson 1 for 2 with a double as well. And then Andrew Abbott, last 2 starts, he's walked 9 batters over his last 2 starts. So hopefully his command's a little bit better. There was some rain and stuff. Abbott has never faced the Braves before. Only active Brave that's ever faced him is Alex Verdugo, who is 1 for 3. Tomorrow is on Fox 19, though. I think this is the first game since opening day of their Fox 19 game, so you can watch the game if you're locally in Cincinnati.
Love that. All right, on the way out, please like the stream. I'd also say that, as depressing as that who, what, when, where, and why just became as we've sat and collectively thought about what tomorrow might bring. This team's stupid. This team is really stupid. So there's a chance they go out and they score 12 runs tomorrow, and then all of a sudden we're all excited again because they figured something out. And I'm sure next, Tuesday we'll be all pissed off again because they got shut out by some guy making his 4th major league start. Who knows? But until then, just want to say thank you for watching the show. We have gone somehow, some way, by the grace of God and by the grace of this chat, an hour on a day in which I had no clue what we were going to talk about for a game in which had one measly hit. A piss-poor performance by the Cincinnati Reds, and hopefully ours wasn't as bad as theirs, and we'll see you all again tomorrow after a Reds win. Take care, everybody.